Welcome back to No To Lashon Hara, day 50. This entire series is being done as a special zechut for Refuah Shlema for Chana Bat Sima Fega. Has this ever happened to you? People sitting around, and we're talking about someone in the community. Yeah, real estate's crashing. You don't know, this guy lost his building. This guy, his store's for sure going to close. This guy, Amazon is squeezing him. It's just conversation, and you're not saying anything negative about the person. But oftentimes, that speech can also be quite damaging. So here you are sitting in your armchair, doing your armchair analysis, and you actually don't realize that this person is now severely hurting because of you. So imagine, as an example, you're talking to a group of people or with a group of people, and you mention this person's financial backing. Meanwhile, what you don't know is that this guy is actually trying to buy a house from someone who's actually present, or that some of the people there might be thinking about doing business with him, or giving him a loan, or investing in his business. The fact that you just said that Amazon is really squeezing him, or he might lose that business, to you it's a conversation about real estate with a little name attached. But to him it might be a difficulty facing him in his day-to-day life. Now, if there's a case where someone is nearly bankrupt and someone's about to lend them money and they've asked you a question about specifically the person's financial situation. So as we've explained, there may be cases where a person needs to know, and if you fulfill the cases of letoelet, which means where it is constructive and you're protecting the person from making a bad investment by telling him what's really going on, so long as the conditions for toelet are fulfilled, and there's 7 of them if you remember, each one of those things, if they're fulfilled, then the halacha is you're allowed to share that information. However, what's important to understand is that when we talk about negative speech, what is Lashon Hara for one person might not be Lashon Hara for someone else. So as an example, imagine we're talking about this fellow who's in real estate, and we say, this fellow, he made $1 million this year. If you're talking about a regular person, to say that someone made $1 million might be a compliment. But if you're talking about someone who used to be selling buildings of $100 million in Manhattan, and you say, I think he made $1 million this year, you're actually saying that his business and his skill and his portfolio is really underperforming. So that same sentence applied to one person is a compliment, applied to someone else is a negative statement. If you say that someone learns for a few hours a day, but you're referring to a yeshiva student who's supposed to be learning the whole day, that could be Lashon Hara. If you're speaking about a businessman who sets aside a few hours to learn when he gets home at the end of his workday, you might be giving high praise. So it's important to understand that Lashon Hara is completely relative. And the idea that you're going to tell yourself, well, he learns 3 hours a day. I can't even learn for 20 minutes a day. Yes, but you're not a rabbinical student. Yeah, I only said he's only making $1 million. If only I could earn $1 million a year. That statement is irrelevant because it's not really about you or how that statement would pertain to you. It's how the statement that you made about someone pertains to them. And what will people think and what will people do based on the information that you've just shared. In the end, it's always important to be very careful with what we say, because oftentimes the damage that we do is something that we didn't even think about when we opened our mouths.